On our Health Watch this morning, how concerned should you be about a possible flu pandemic?
Is a pandemic flu the bird flu?
Can humans catch it if they eat chicken or
something? The chief of the World Health Organization says the world needs to be prepared for an influenza pandemic.
I know very little about a pandemic flu.
I assume the government has medicines that will help us out.
I assume it's poor countries without money would be most at risk.
The task facing all of us is to get prepared for a possible pandemic.
Today in America and around the world, there's a great deal of information being put forth and quite a few questions being raised about a possible flu pandemic. As with any potential disaster or catastrophic event, the first line of defense is to be well prepared. And the basics are simple. Be Red Cross ready. Get a kit. Make a plan. Be informed. Things that every American can do right now. But sometimes it helps to know why we're preparing and what you can expect if and when something like a flu pandemic occurs. That's why the American Red Cross has created this video to shed some light on an issue of great importance to our country and to help you understand what you can and should be doing today to get ready.
There have been pandemics as far back as we can look in history. It's the nature of the virus. A fast, rapidly mutating virus can jump species from birds to people. So as far back as we can look, there have been pandemics. Some of them have been relatively mild. Some of them have been quite deadly. And 1918 probably killed at least 50 million people worldwide. And the world population was only a little over 1/4 what it is today. So if you translate that, just adjust for population, you're talking about 175, the equivalent of 175 to 350 million people today. So that is something you very definitely need to take seriously.
In recent years, scientists have been monitoring various strains of influenza virus, such as avian influenza H5N1 virus currently in the news, to identify the potential origins of a flu pandemic.
This is not a new thing. You know, and sometimes it's the old things, the natural events, you know, that throw modern society for a loop. And we need to get ready for it.
There's no substitute for being well prepared for a flu pandemic or any other disaster. Here at the Red Cross, we know firsthand how having a plan and properly executing that plan can help save lives. And of course, the best way to start developing a plan, the best way to begin planning for a flu pandemic or any other disaster is to learn the facts.
Is the flu pandemic different than the regular flu season that comes around every year?
Well, most of us, of course, have had the flu at least sometime in our life. And for most of us, it is a pretty sickening experience. You get headache and muscle aches, and you're feeling pretty well under the weather for 3, 4, 5 days. But you recover. In most cases, recover. However, in a pandemic, this is a new virus, which is much more virulent. It causes much more severe injury and death, and it would be quite different. It would kill many, many more people than we see in the seasonal flu.
The issue here is that it's very new, so there is no immunity in the population, and people can get very ill, and it can overwhelm the healthcare resources very quickly.
You can have massive disruption of the economy, of transportation systems, of delivery systems. Imagine a situation where you have lots of people that are sick with a seasonal flu, and just think about what happens in your office. But imagine if you multiply that by 10, 20, 30 times. In effect, nobody would be at work.